Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Namo Gurubhyaha. Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sanga Padakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Nas Surasuraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Parnaya Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Mruta Duhe Namaha. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. I welcome you all for this Bhagavad Gita session organized between the Hindu temple of Allentown and Arsha Vidya Gurukulam teachers. You have been very carefully attending these last several sessions in which we had completed the first chapter of the Gita. We switched over to these online classes recently, and we have been having more regular classes from the time we have gone online. So I welcome you all for this session where we are going to start the second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. I hope you're all connected online through the YouTube media. We went online a little around 4:15. I'm also waiting for the connection to show up there. And if you're able to view this online, you can send me a message so I know you're all online and you're able to listen to these sessions. Thank you. In this chapter, In this chapter, which is the second chapter, the title of this chapter is Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is the title for this chapter, and each chapter's title has a unique name based on unique name. Each chapter has got a unique name based on the content of this chapter. I hope you're able to listen to me online, and if any one of you can just give me a heads up, I will continue with this talks, because here on my phone I am unable to see that I am online. Yeah. Yes, now I can see that. So I can confidently continue that I am speaking to someone there and continue with my discourse on the second chapter, starting of the second chapter. So, as you know, in the first chapter, although Arjuna was prepared for the battle, he had a change of mind, and he was expressing himself in several words to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. He started by questioning himself, thinking aloud that how he can harm his own svajana, his own kula, his own family. He was expressing his incapacity initially, and later on he had so many reasonings to back up his weakness, his incapability. And then finally Sanjaya is saying to Dhritarashtra how Arjuna would give up his bow and arrows, and how he would come in front of Krishna and just stay there, not ready to do anything. This is the last sloka we saw, where Sanjaya is saying, Eva Muktva Arjunaha, having said like this in several words, Sankhye Rata Upasta Upavishate Visrajya Sasharam Chapam Shoka Samvigna Manasaha. Shoka, we all are familiar with the word Shoka. Shoka Samvigna, one whose heart is gripped with Shoka, with that kind of a heart. He is sitting in front of Krishna, in front of the chariot, Samvigna Manasaha, with that kind of a mind. And Sanjaya does continue in the second chapter also. As I was telling, I was waiting for people to get connected, so I was about to say this. Sankhya Yoga, the Shabda Sankhya, the second chapter title is called Sankhya Yoga, and this word Sankhya would mean Atma. This word Sankhya would also mean to that philosophy with which one can understand oneself, one can know one's own reality. So, Sankhya would also mean numbering, Sankhya, because Arjuna is in a situation where he is not able to categorize things properly. He has a mix-up in his mind between Swajana and those enemies who are not just there to kill Arjuna, but also to propitiate adharma. So there is a mix-up in what is what in Arjuna's mind, and categorizing what is Atma, what is Anatma. This kind of a categorization, this kind of a numbering, this is Atma, this is Anatma, this kind of a one Atma, and this is two, anatma. This kind of a separation, this kind of a analysis by the means of separation is also called Sankhya, well established, well separated. So that is why this chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. We can say this also. In this Sankhya Yoga chapter also, Arjuna's condition is being told by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. The first sloka here is Sanjaya Uvacha. We'll start with that first sloka here. Sanjaya Uvacha Tam Tata Kripaya Vishtam Ashrupurna Kulekshanam Vishidantamidam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudanaha. As you see, this sloka is told by Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. And in reality, when Arjuna and Krishna are speaking, Sanjaya is making the observation. And when Sanjaya himself is speaking, who is making the observation to report that Sanjaya is speaking? That is Vaishampayana Maharishi. So Vaishampayana is saying what Sanjaya is saying, and Sanjaya is saying what Krishna Bhagavan is saying. Now, who is saying what Vaishampayana is saying? Vyasa is saying what Vaishampayana is saying. And how do we know what Vyasa is saying? We know it through our Ganesha Bhagavan, who wrote everything what Vyasa said. And I would like to again repeat this small story where during the 18th chapter, while writing the 18th chapter, because Vyasa could not keep up with the speed of Ganesha's Bhagavan's writing, Ganesha would disappear. He would disappear. And Vyasa was a little disturbed that Bhagavan left me when I was about to complete this Gita. And when Vyasa could see what all Bhagavan has written in terms of all the 17 chapters, he also found that Bhagavan Ganesha had completed the 18th chapter also before he left. So this whole Gita, which we are going to see, is in Bhagavan Ganesha's mind. So with that Ganesha, who has got that big head, which can hold the entire philosophy of Gita and everything else, that Ganesha, with his blessing, let me continue here. Here, Sanjaya is saying, Tatha. When you see a word Tatha, then the question would be Yatha. How, like what it has been described in the previous chapter, Arjuna, Swajana Marana Prasanga Darshanena, with all his logic and reasoning of what's going to happen if my kula is destroyed by my own hands, after presenting that to Bhagavan Krishna. Now Sanjaya also has to give this message to Dhritarashtra through this sloka, that this is not the end of it. Just because Arjuna would drop his bow and arrows and come out of the chariot does not mean this is the end of the war. And don't assume that your children, Duryodhana Adi, are going to be getting this kingdom in a golden plate. Or don't think that they're going to be holding on to the kingdom without any difficulty. That's not going to be the case. And let us see what happened like that. Sanjaya is continuing and saying Tata, like what it has been told before, where Arjuna said, I am ready to even be killed, even to be killed. That being the case, even then, and Tata Kripaya, I am following the words in the sloka, Kripaya. So the word Kripaya is being told by Sanjaya. Sanjaya is looking at Arjuna and he is saying, Arjuna is there standing with so much compassion. Kripaya, the word might be translated as compassion. That is whether Arjuna really deserves to be called a compassionate person in this situation is questionable. But Sanjaya, with his good heart, whatever feelings Arjuna was expressing, he called it Kripaya. With compassion, Arjuna is there. In reality, as you know, a compassion is something when you express when someone else is in distress. When someone else is in distress, when someone else is in pain, that is when what you express becomes an expression of compassion. Here, Arjuna's heart itself is in pain without having done anything there. So this does not exactly fall in the category of compassion. This will fall in the category of more of a binding attachment, more than compassion. That kripaya, tam tata kripaya avishtam. Avishtam means adhishtanam. That has become his basis. That how can I kill my own? How can I look at the world where my own people do not exist? How can I even think of hurting those people whose non-existence I cannot even think of? We can all relate to this situation of Arjuna. We are all having that same situation of a mental condition where we would not want to see the absence, we would not want to experience the non-existence of the people who we care. But in the case of Arjuna, the people who he cared for were given to adharma, as we all know. So, with that kind of a basis, avishtam, with that kind of a adhishthanam, with that kind of a basis, having engulfed with that feelings, ashrupurna kulekshanam, ashrubihi purne samakule cha ikshane yasya. Ashrubihi, by tears, overflowing tears. Purne means fully, his eyes have become a pond of tears out of fear of, hurting even. Now, Ashrupurne, Samakule is totally, engulfed with sorrow. Akula. Samakule means sorrowfulness. Cha ikshane, that kind of eyes. So it's an expression of eyes. Very beautifully, Sanjaya is presenting to Dhritarashtra. Ashrupurna Samakula Ikshana, which is Ashrupurna Kulekshanam. That is a samasa there. Now, with that Ashrupurna Kulekshanam, Vishidantam. Obviously, Sidanti Mama Gatrani. That is what Arjuna said. My arms are trembling, my limbs are trembling. The Gandivam is falling on its own. And he had all the expressions of sadness and all the expressions of sorrowness in there. Vishidantam. That Arjunam. That tam means that Arjunam, who we know, Partham, looking at him, Madhusudanaha, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the one who destroyed the Asura called Madhu, Kaitapa, both of them were Samhara, Bhagavan Sri Krishna did. That Madhusudana, Vakshyamana idam vakyam, as a remaining part of sloka, this vakya. Which vakya? The following vakya, which is going to come in the second sloka. And when Bhagavan is saying a vakya, it is Upapattikam Vachanam. Very appropriately, Bhagavan is going to start talking to Arjuna, having undergone this crisis. And it is not just Arjuna's crisis, it is now kind of Bhagavan's duty to do this crisis management. As our Swamiji would say, when the bride is taken to the wedding, and if the bride suddenly in the last minute says, dad or mom, I have changed my mind, not this guy. So it is that kind of a situation here, more than that. So Bhagavan is going to address Arjuna's sorrow. So, to him who was sad and thus overwhelmed by compassion, whose eyes filled with tears and showed distress, Bhagavan Sri Krishna spoke these words. This is the first sloka of the second chapter. Let us jump into the second sloka right away. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupasthitam Anaryajushtamasvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. So, Bhagavan spoke thus. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Very, very beautifully, Bhagavan, our Krishna Bhagavan is called Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sri Bhagavan in his words are Bhagavan Uvacha. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Sri Mahalakshmi or Sri Brahmavidya or Sri Maya, Avidya. So, if you take Sri as Mahalakshmi, Bhagavan, who has Mahalakshmi to give all the Aishwarya which can fall in the category of Shreyas and Preyas, of material and spiritual, for all our spiritual sadhana, whatever Aishwarya is required for those, that Bhagavan is, that one, the Bhagavan who can give that. When Sri is Brahmavidya, Bhagavan becomes the Upadeshtatra, the teacher of Brahmavidya. And when Sri becomes Maya, the word Sri is taken as the word Maya, then Bhagavan becomes the one who can take us away from the, we can take the Maya, and who can really make us use the Maya, if I can say, Bhagavad Shakti Dwara, Bhagavad Shakti Sadhanena, Maya Sadhanena, Shokam Tarayitum Shaknam, Bhagavan. That Bhagavan, and Bhagavan Shabda is also, I would like to say, my dear devotees of Ishvara, devotees of Bhagavan, this Bhagavan Shabda is being used everywhere, as we see these days. So, I would like to say this. There is a shloka which describes the Bhagavan Shabda. Aishwaryascha samagrascha dharmascha yashasas shriyah vairagyascha tatha mokshascha shannam bhaga iti rayet. There's a shloka like this. Aishwarya is all kinds of overlordship, complete overlordship Bhagavan has. So the question doesn't stand like, why would Bhagavan do this? Because he can have a control over that also. With the infrastructure of time and space, Bhagavan can have an adhipatyam, a total control over all situations. That is our hope even in this situation, in this crisis which we are all facing, which we are all very helpless about, the current coronavirus crisis also. We believe Bhagavan has the final word, final say, overlordship over the whole thing. That is the hope. So, this Bhagavan is Aishwarya, Samagra Aishwarya. Samagra word is very important. He has got total. Samagra means total lordship. And Aishwarya Samagra, Dharmascha. Dharmaha, he is the one who is the supreme justice. Why I use the word supreme is because we have a Supreme Court, you have a judge. But Bhagavan has got all the rules and ways and means of running this world. Dharma. All that good things we do is all getting in touch with that Bhagavan, who is the Samagra Dharmakarta. Yashaha, ultimate fame. Shriyam, all wealth. Entire wealth. We have to add the word entire. Vairagyam. And if you have all the wealth also, you would be able to give something to someone only if you have all the vairagya. Entire wealth Bhagavan is giving to us. In fact, he has given everything what needs to be given, and he is ready to give more because he is the one, like Bhagavan Shiva, having given everything, wearing some skin of some animal, some elephant skin. Bhagavan is just sitting in the Himalayas without even wanting any, without even caring for all that he has given away, and he is still ready to give. That is Bhagavan. And mokshascha, the Bhagavan can, moksha means moksha sadhana. We are all mukta purusha, our Advaita Siddhanta, then we are, moksha is siddha vastu. It is already prapta vastu, already accomplished. Praptasya praptihi, for that whatever sadhana, what is already accomplished, to see that, that means to see that, that is also the Bhagavan. That Aishwarya also has been given by Bhagavan. So this is Bhagavan Shabda, complete Artha. So this doesn't apply to any human being. Just want to let you know that. This doesn't apply to any human being on the earth. So this only applies to Bhagavan, and here Bhagavan is Sri Krishna. Now, we read the shloka, and now we'll just quickly see how Bhagavan is starting to address. Because he has to address the situation at hand right now. So Bhagavan is giving some laukika vyavahara naipunya, laukika vyavahara ashritya. Bhagavan is talking to him. First he is taking up the stand of, is this the time to talk about all this? That is kind of a stand situation Bhagavan is saying. Hey Arjuna, Arjuna also means the one who is very straightforward, in the sense he has got a very blemish-free character. Swachha swabhava, that is Arjuna. Shabda's artha, another artha. Tvam sarva kshatriya pravaram. You are the one who is connected to all the great kshatriyas. Vishame Sabhayasthane, you have taken a position of, you have taken a stance of, a covered-eye stance. Covered-eye stance. What you have taken apparently is looking like someone who is a weak person would take. Sankate, that is the artha of the word Vishame. Asamaye, that too in a very inappropriate time. This is not the time and place for all these things. In this situation, you have put yourself, Vishame. Yeah, the situation where you have to actually just do it. In this crisis, Vishame means crisis. Idam means in this situation, you have turned yourself away from the battlefield, Swadharma. You have turned yourself not just away from the battlefield, from doing your dharma, Swadharma. Kashmalam, and you are given to Kashmalam, despair. Malinata, that Arjuna who came very clearly to fight, now he's all clouded. His all intellect is totally clouded. Malinta. Malinata, I'm not saying it is clouded. The way you are conducting yourself, Sishta Garhitanam. All our forefathers, ancestors will not be proud of what you're taken up to. Vaikalyam. Now, Kutaha, from where? What is the reason? From where? What is the reason, and what is that you are trying to accomplish by taking this kind of a stance? Kutaha. You think this is going to lead you to moksha? Is that why you have taken this? Or do you think it is going to give you some fame in this world? Is that why you're taking this? That is a kutaha. Kutaha is not a question. It is just like, it is not acceptable. That kind of a, why all of a sudden? Why this? This is not what is expected of you. Kutaha. Samupastitam. Praptam. This has become of you. How did this become of you? Moha praptam. How did you be totally engulfed in moha like this? In aviveka. How did you lose your sense of discretion here? And if you think, yataha, if you think this is going to be something appreciated by elders, no. Anarya Jushtam. The one who knows the Shastra, our own forefathers, the people who you think, you are helping and making them feel comfortable, they're not going to be proud about your this conduct. Anarya Jushtam. This is not something, becoming of you. Aswargyam. Acha, now you may think, I may not accomplish anything. I may not be understood in this world. Nobody would understand me here. But for all that I do good, if you think Swarga is waiting for you, if you think heaven is waiting for you, no. Aswargyam. Even heaven is not going to be accomplished by you by this kind of a conduct. Anarya Jushtam, Aswargyam, Akirtikaram. Yeah. And you may think that Sishtas, ancestors may not, older people, elder people may not appreciate. You may not get heaven. You may think that the prajas, all your subjects, the common men and women would appreciate you. No, that is also not going to be happening because of this. If you think Arjuna has been, if you think that in the history of time they're going to speak, Arjuna, you have done, because Arjuna gave up the fighting, that is the reason why we are all alive today. We should all have a picture of Arjuna and do puja of Arjuna. If you think that is how they're going to think, no. This is not what going to happen, Arjuna. So, this is Krishna's first message. How nicely Bhagavan starts. Very beautifully he starts giving the message to Arjuna that this is time to act. And this is the time to act because that is what is going to give you the Antakarana Shuddhi. That is what is going to prepare you for all that is deserving of you. So, in such crisis, from where has this despair come upon you, O Arjuna? It is not at all becoming of an upright man like you. It does not add to your good name. It does not lead to heaven. And it is not going to be appreciated by even common men and women. So, this is Krishna's first message to Arjuna in the second shloka. And we'll transit to shloka number 3. In the third shloka, Bhagavan is very beautifully saying, Arjuna, hey Arjuna. So when you say in Sanskrit, you have to say, hey Arjuna. When you say in Prakruti Bhasha, Arjuna, like that we can stretch a little bit, Arjuna. So here, Bhagavan is saying, hey Arjuna, I am going to talk to you regarding the anarhatvam. Anarhatvam. You don't even deserve to be this sorrowful person. Look, you deserve to be someone who is Arya. You deserve to be someone who is Arya, who deserves the best. At the same time, Bhagavan is actually, it is Bhagavan's compassion. He is the compassionate one here, saying, you don't deserve to be this sorrowful person. This is a great statement when Bhagavan is saying you don't deserve to be sad. In the sense, you deserve to be happy. You deserve happiness only. And when Bhagavan says that, he is also going to bestow upon Arjuna that. And all of us, he is going to bestow that happiness. So, we'll look into this shloka. Shloka number 3. Klaibyam masmagamah partha naitattvayupapadyate Kshudram hridaya daurbalyam Tyaktvottishta parantapa. Thank you, Swamiji. Hey Partha, Klaibyam. Look at this. Even after the shloka, second shloka, where Bhagavan has already started to speak, Arjuna looks unmoved. Mind is still stunned. The message did not go into his head. He couldn't decipher from what Bhagavan said that what he has to do is, is to stand up to this occasion. So that's why Bhagavan has to again tell him this in this verse. He Partha, Prutatanaya. Partha is a name for Arjuna also, as we know, and it means the one who is the son of Pritha. Pritha is the name for another name for Kunti Mata. Arjuna's mother, Kunti Mata's name is Pritha. And Maheshwarenapi. Maheshwarenapi means Maheshwara. Bhagavan Shiva, who Arjuna was a devotee of, had appeared before Arjuna when Bhagavan Sri Krishna had sent Arjuna to go and procure the Pashupatastra by his tapascharya. We should understand the Mahabharata war was initiated by Duryodhana, but it was the desire for war was sustained in Duryodhana's mind only because of Karna's strength, what Karna was capable of. In fact, when Karna was told that he is one of the sons of Kunti, one of the reasons Karna would say is, other reasons are very lovely, but I don't have time for that now here. I could at least say this reason. He said, Duryodhana is pinning all his hopes on me. He would not have come this far had I not been with him. And this is not the time to retreat. So, Duryodhana's whole hope was on Karna. And to kill that Karna, what Arjuna had was not enough. He had to get the Pashupatastra. On Bhagavan Krishna's advice, he worshipped Bhagavan Shiva, and Shiva appeared before him. And as Bhagavan Shiva always does, when he comes, there's always some tamasha. So he was actually having Arjuna fight with him. Not knowing it is Bhagavan, Arjuna did fight with Shiva. This Arjuna who fought with Shiva, now he is given to despair, he is given to distress, he is given to sorrowfulness, he is given to a sunken heart. Prutatanaya. And the next word is giving, because Bhagavan wants to give this dose. We call this dose in our language. Dose is a kind of a shot to prod Arjuna to get up and act. Klaibyam, Pujya Swamiji translates as unmanliness. I would like to say here the word Klaibyam. If you look at the word eunuch, in the translation, you'll see it is a translation some people give. But Klaibyam would be, literally speaking, a man who has been castrated. You know, animals, they get castrated. When the animals are too expressing, when the male animal is expressing a lot of testosterone, the male hormone, and if they're not able to manage their pets, like dogs or cats, they castrate that. So there's no production of testosterone. And they become very docile. And the animal afterwards becomes very quiet, very manageable, and it also puts a lot of weight after that because no activity. So that kind of a person, Arjuna is becoming of. A castrated man, I would say. Klaibyam. Adhairyam. There's no dhairya, there's no courage left in you, Arjuna. You've become a klaibya. You're behaving like a klaibya. Smagama. Do not yield to. Ma means do not. Smagama. Yield to. This is not what I want to see of you. What is that? You had told Nacha Shakyom Avasthatum. This is not something I can sustain, oh Bhagavan. Like that you said you're incapable. That's what your statement. But hey Arjuna, that is not what is called for you in this occasion. You are raised to this occasion. Tvai, in you, etad na upadyate. Etad na upadyate. Does not befit you. Untenable. Pujya Swami says, it is not becoming of you, does not befit you. What does not befit you? What is not befitting you? This kind of a retreat, a withdrawal, with all the reasonings you had been giving me. And this battle is not fought for the sake of Krishna. It is fought for the sake of Dharma. So, This is not befitting you. Tvayi etad na upapadyate. The next superlative sambodhana, vocative which Bhagavan is using is He Parantapa. Param Shatrum Tapayati. Tapana. Tapana means, scorching. Scorcher of enemies. Arjuna is a scorcher of enemies. Enemies cannot stand Arjuna. Enemies, cannot, withstand Arjuna, I should say. Not stand, withstand Arjuna. So, this kind of a one who can scorch your enemies, who can vanquish your enemies, here Arjuna. This Hridaya Daurbalyam, Manasaha Durbalatvam Adhairyam. No Dairya, Adhairyam. Hridaya Daurbalyam means Durbalata. Bala, Durbala is weakness. What weakness? Weakness of heart. And Kshudram Hridaya Daurbalyam. Kshudram is, this Hridaya Daurbalyam is totally your kalpana. This is totally out of your ignorance. Is it totally out of, you being engulfed with your desire to just say me and my people. Kshudram, it is tucham. It is not real. This Hridaya Daurbalyam is not out of, it is not out of something, you did so much and you don't have the strength and all that. You didn't even start this battle. So, he is saying, Manasaha Eva Natu Shakti. Hridaya Kritam Eva Tava Daurbalyam. This Daurbalya is just your own creation. Hridaya Kritam. Tera Hridaya Kritam Eva. It's just making, it's your own creation. That is why Bhagavan says you don't deserve to be sad. It's your own creation. And Tyaktva, this Hridaya Daurbalya, which is tucha, which doesn't deserve any attention, Tyaktva, give up, using your discretion, using your buddhi, with all that you have learned, Tyaktva, give it up. And then Uttishta, hey Arjuna, Uttishta, the call of duty. Uttishta for the call of duty. Here, several doctors and nurses in this country have all stood up to the call of the duty. And in India also, they have been recognized. Everywhere in the world, doctors and nurses and volunteers have stood up to the call of duty. Frontline people. And they could have had several reasons why they don't go and show up to their duty. I heard yesterday one 70-year-old doctor, Indian doctor, he has been called back for duty after retirement. And because he is in critical care, he said, I had to go. I cannot say no. My own brother who was in the Air Force in India, he has been asked to come and volunteer for the police duty. So the call of duty is there. And we have to raise to the occasion if there is a requirement. So here, Arjuna has to stand up in the sense he has to stand out of his sense of just me and my people. Uttishta, Arjuna. This is Bhagavan's message to Arjuna. And after all this, what happened to Arjuna? Did Arjuna change? Did he have a change of mind? We'll see it in the next sloka. Arjuna uvacha katam bhishmamaham sankhye dronam cha madhusudana ishubhih pratiyotsyami pujarha varisudana. In this, Arjuna is presenting his case again. After hearing all this from Krishna, even then, Arjuna's mind has not changed. Or I wouldn't say it has not changed. He is coming up with whatever more doubts he had in his mind, he is presenting himself. That is Arjuna, an upright person who doesn't hide his doubts and who is always good in presenting himself, who doesn't hesitate, who doesn't feel shy to ask the right questions and gain the knowledge. So this Arjuna here is saying, Hey Madhusudana, Hey Madhusudana. We all keeps hearing this word Madhusudana and we know it is Bhagavan Sri Krishna, one who has destroyed this, not this Madhu Asura. He is the one who has destroyed, who is also Arisudana as it's coming. Because we keep hearing Madhusudana, Madhusudana. Here the word Arisudana, Arisudana is also there for Bhagavan. We'll look into it. Hey Madhusudana, Aham. Arjuna is saying, me. Sankhye, in Rane, in this battlefield. Katham, how will I? Kasyachit katanchit tapi. I won't be able to do this. Katanchit tapi ishubihi. What he won't be able to do? Ishubihi, by arrows. Bhishmam cha dronam prati. Bhishmam, to my own Bhishma, grandsire, and Drona, my Acharya, the one who has taught me all this Dhanurvidya. My master who has taught me the Dhanurvidya, towards him Ishubihi, by these arrows, how would I even think of even hurting them? I wouldn't even want to hurt them by my words. And here I am asked to fight, and that too with the same Dhanurvidya which my teacher taught, me having to shoot down my own grandsire and the teacher. So he's very specifically now talking to Krishna about what exactly is happening in his mind in terms of Bhishma and Drona. First he started with Swajana, and here he is trying to, as a last resort, trying to present what exactly is happening when he sees them. Boils down to this. It all boils down to this, as Swamiji is saying. Katam pratiyotsyami. Katam pratiyotsyami. How will I fight against them? Pratiyotsyami, the word yotsyami is fight. How will I fight? Pratiyotsyami means even if they are going to hurt me, prati, against them. After in terms of retaliation also, how will I do this? And forget about doing with my bow and arrows. Hey Arisudana, again that another word, Sambodhana. Hey Arisudana, you are not just Madhusudana, you are the Sudan, you are the one who has destroyed all enemies. Ari means enemies. Hari is Bhagavan, Ari is the word for enemies in Sanskrit. So Arisudana would mean you are the one who has destroyed all the demons. And in fact, there's one Mahatma who is saying, Arjuna is presenting as if to Krishna that, hey Krishna, do you want me to be called Bhishma Sudana? Do you want me to be called Pitamaha Sudana? Do you want me to be called Acharya Sudana, the one who has killed his own Acharya teacher? Arisudana, this is not what I want to do. Because Etau, reason is saying, Pujar how. They deserve to be worshipped by me. Every day I should pluck fresh flowers and go to them and offer in their feet and worship them. That is the kind of respect they deserve. That is the kind of treatment they deserve from me. And with them, even if there is like this, people are playing video games, war games, like that. Even if there's a game of war, I cannot take it against them. What to talk about a real battle? Oh Bhagavan. So this is Arjuna's state of mind even after hearing to Krishna. How will I in this battle fight? I am in an unenviable situation here. Bhagavan, please look at my situation. Very peculiar situation. How will I fight? With arrows against Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship. This is the crux of this shloka. And Arjuna continues in the next shloka. We will see what more he has to say in the next few shlokas. The fifth shloka. The meter is different. The meter also, Trishtubh meter. Thank you, Swamiji. Trishtubh meter. which is different, and that also shows how Arjuna is, unable to take this whole situation. Guruna hatva hi mahanubhavan Shreyo bhoktum bhaikshyamapiha loke hatvartha kamanstu guru nihaiva bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna is continuing to be that patient listener, and Arjuna continues to say that what I would like to do instead. One, that I want to give up this battle. Two, what instead of the battle, what else looks like even better? What else looks like a better thing to do compared to this battle? That's his Arjuna's words in this shloka. Because this guru, this teacher of me, guru means it includes Bhishma also. All these teachers of me, they are here with the garva, with the garva. They have a dosha in them. They may have a dosha in them, and it's all obvious. They are standing on the opposite side of the standing with adharma. But if I don't, even if there is dosha, they are my teachers. Even if they have that dosha, they are my teachers. Because there's a shloka which says if the guru has a dosha or something, you can really fight against him. There's a shloka. So for that reason, even if there's Arjuna is saying in this shloka what kind of people they are and what kind of treatment they deserve, he is told before. Now he is saying what instead of this battle, what else he would like to do. Mahanubhavan, Mahatmyan. They are they're Mahans. They are great, they're great people deserving of a lot of respect. Shruta Adhyayana Sampanna. Adhyayana Sampanna. Shruta, whole Shruti Adhyayana Sampanna hai. Tapa, Achara, Vichara, everything they know. That is why they are Mahan. Well educated. Thank you, Swami. Highly exalted, as Puja Swami says. Gurun. This Bhishma, Drona, they're all my gurus, including Kripacharya, who is there, and so many others who are of the same caliber, same age, same capacity, same level of relation. Ahatva, the word ahatva. In this sloka, there's the word ahatva, there's slok hatva. Ahatva means not killing. Not killing. Hatva means killing. So if I don't kill them, ihaloke, in this world, and instead of if I don't kill them, and instead of that, bhaikshyam api bhoktum. Bhaikshyam means going and begging for alms, begging for food to different houses, and coming and partaking that. Bhaikshyam, that is bhaikshyam. This bhaikshyam, this bhikshatanam, is nishiddha for Kshatriya. But Arjuna says, although it is nishiddha, it looks like a better thing to take up compared to having to kill them. That is Arjuna's tatparya, that is his intent. Even bhaikshyam, bhoktum shreyaha. Even bhaikshyam bhoktum, that is better. Shreyaha means better. To, just to have that bhiksha annam and just to be in a cave or somewhere, not having to do anything with all this battle and everything. Nishiddham api, although it is not prescribed for the Kshatriya. Then, this says, that is what I think, oh Krishna. Then, Gurun Hatva. So we saw, if without killing them, I would like to take up to a life of Bhikshacharyam. It's not that he wants to take up, but he says that looks better. Suppose if I kill them, Gurun Hatva, teachers, if you're killing them, what would happen? All that bhogan, all the enjoyment I would be enjoying in terms of artha kaman, all these words are there in the shloka. Artha kaman, in terms of security, all kinds of pleasures and security. Security means being a very secured person, nothing to be earned anymore. That kind of secured person in terms of wealth, and also having all the pleasures at the end of the tip of the finger, call of the tip of the finger. That all those pleasures, those pleasures, what they are? They are rudira pradigdhan. Rudira is blood. Rudira pradigdhan would mean it will be stained with the blood, soaked with the blood, hands soaked with the blood of no ordinary people. Bhishma and Drona. How would I, with the same hand soaked with blood, with my hands, enjoy all these enjoyments? What a way of putting himself. Arjuna is presenting himself like this. Rudira pradigdhan. That bhogan, that kind of a bhoga only, eva, that will be, whereas that will be the bhoga I'll be enjoying if I kill them. That is Arjuna's presentation here. And there are some small variations in the sloka. He Mahanubhavan, like that the he is included, the Mahanubhavan. Some Tikakaras are doing. He Mahanubhavan. Hima means we are all familiar, snow. He Mahanubhavan would be the one who is destroyer of snow, which would mean Surya Bhagavan and Agni Bhagavan. So these gurus who are in terms of their ojas and tejas, in terms of their luster, who are like the Surya Bhagavan, how would I kill them? Like that is a variation. So this is what Arjuna is presenting himself as, being incapable of doing this, and what else he would like to take in the place of having to kill them, Guru and his own Pitamaha. So it would be better indeed to eat food collected from others here in this world. So he says, if I don't kill them, I may be having the apakirti of having to giving it up and all that. But Swargaloka I may still, the loka will be available, maybe, possibly. But if I enjoy killing them, the enjoyment is not an enjoyment even here, and definitely I don't think I'll be going to Swarga or any other, I deserve any other loka also there. So that kind of a presentation Arjuna is doing in this sloka number 5. We'll go to the 6th sloka. Nachaitad vidmah kataranno gariyah yadva jayema yadi vano jayeyuho yaneva hatva najiji vishamah devastita pramukhe dhartarashtraha. Swahridaya kartavya akartavya samshayasya prakyapanam. So Arjuna is still not decided, he is still expressing his confusion within himself. Samshaya prakyapanam is a presentation of his samshaya only in this shloka also. Because here in this shloka he says, Yadva nachaitad vidmaha. Vidmaha means I'm not clear. I'm not vidmaha, I don't know. Na vidmaha. I'm not sure. Because on one side it is swadharma. And on other side it is swajana hananam. Especially Bhishma and Drona. Guru hananam. Guru hatya. One side swadharma, other side guru hatya. So I am not able to decide. That is what is Arjuna. At least Bhagavan Krishna's words has some effect on him. He has come to this stage where he is still saying that I'm confused. And confusion comes in a person who is seeking clarity. You'll see that Arjuna has all that qualities of a seeker. You'll see that at the end of this shloka. So here, na vidmaha, nacha vidmaha, and he says vidmaha is, we it's actually a bahuvachanam. We do not know. It is a uttama purusha bahuvachanam. We do not know. We do not know this, which is for us, katarate of these two, one of, having to doing swadharma versus, having to go against our own people. Between these two, gariyaha, we don't know what is gariyaha, means what is better. We don't know what is better. Pakshadvaye, we don't know what is better. Yuddhameva krataha na angikarishati. Yadva, suppose, so whether, we are also not clear whether yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu. Yadva jayema, should we conquer them? Should we conquer them? Which is because, why is question, should we conquer them? Because he knows he's going to win. Arjuna knows he's going to win the battle, and if I win, would it be equivalent to a victory? It is Jaya or is it Parajaya? This Jaya, it looks like it is going to be a Parajaya only. It is going to be a victory of not me, even if I win. Yadi Vano Jayeyuhu. So if I can also give up and let them, and should they conquer me? Yan, whom, having slain, na vayam jijivishamaha, jivitum ichamaha. Because those people who if I want to slay them, after slaying them, I don't want to be alive anymore. I don't have the desire to be alive anymore. Na jijivishamaha. That is my condition, O Arjuna. Those Dhartarashtraha, those children of Dhritarashtra, not just children, those who are all now ready to fight for Dhritarashtra on that side. Pramukhe avastitaha santi. They are standing in front of me. These people who are standing in front of me, I would want them not to disappear in my life. I want them to always be in front of me so that I can see them. At the same time, I have to do my swadharma, which involves making them disappear from this world. Make them disappear in the front of world. And if I let them kill me, then I won't be there to do any dharma paripalana. And is that what, between these two, I'm not able to decide. Oh Bhagavan. That is Arjuna's situation. We'll quickly see that, in this sloka Arjuna is saying, we do not know which of the two will be better for us, O Bhagavan. Should we conquer them or should they conquer us? The sons of Dhritarashtra, after slaying who, will indeed not want to live. They stand in front of us. So that is my confusion, O Bhagavan. With this presentation, Arjuna, in the next sloka, which is 7th sloka, shall we do this for only 10 minutes? Okay. So yeah, we'll stand this sloka number 7. Yeah, I'll tell you. So this sloka will do that. In the next sloka is one of the Charama sloka, in the sense one of the highlighted slokas for Sharanagati. Sharanagati, Prapatti, this is a very highlighted sloka. So this sloka we should start today and we can see how far we can go. Because in this sloka, Arjunena swasya karpanyasya gurupa sattehecha avedanam. He is presenting his helplessness. He did present his helplessness in the last sloka, but he is exactly saying what is his problem in terms of not something he is not able to do, in terms of what his mental condition is in terms of not being able to even follow dharma, even that much helpless state of mind he has got. He's presenting that. And he's asking Bhagavan for what is the ultimate thing to be performed, what is the ultimate thing to be accomplished. And even when he's asking, he might have asked a lot of times before, but here exactly in this sloka, Sishyasteham, I am your Sishya, hey Bhagavan, I deserve of your teaching. Please teach me. That kind of as Swamiji put it, Sharanagati. The word is also, Sharanagati also is something to be understood, because he's saying, Shadi Mam, please teach me. Sharanagati involves going to a teacher and learning. Learning is also important. Learning in terms of what has been learned traditionally. So this shloka will see that first. Karpanya doshopahata swabhavah pruchami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yat shreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme sishyasteham shadhi mam tvam prapannam. Karpanya dosha upahata swabhavah. Karpanya dosha upahata swabhavah. Swabhavah is Arjuna's swabhava. It is upahata, nature. Arjuna's nature. Upahata means it has been totally destroyed by a dosha. What dosha? Karpanya dosha. The Karpanya dosha has totally destroyed Arjuna's swabhava. What is Karpanya dosha? Yo alpam swalpamapi swakshatim na kshamate. Karpanya dosha is the dosha. Karpanya is from the word kripana. And kripana usually translated as miserliness. Kripana also might be the word of origin for the word crippled in English. That kind of dosha. So because, see, kripana, when the reason why they're calling us miserliness, because he may be a rich man. A miser might be a rich person, but we won't know that he is rich unless he gives, and he's not going to give. And he keeps it to himself for his future and all that. And he's always thinking about the future, giving up the present. And sometimes he's worried about the past also. Maybe he had a chance to give something and get some fame, do something and all that. He lost that also. So miser has got all these qualities. He doesn't give. Pandamutti, his hands are always closed. And he is the one who is going to think about the future or the past and not in the present. And Kripanaha here means one who has got this beautiful sharira, body given by Bhagavan, Manushya Sharira. This Manushya Deha, Manushya Sharira is given through which the ultimate Shreyas, Artha, Kama, Dharma, Moksha, all four Purusharthas can be very beautifully pursued. And here, if you're only sticking to one Purushartha, that is the Kripanatha. Just Artha Purushartha or just Kama Purushartha. This is all the Kripanatha. Arjuna is very gracefully calling himself a Kripana in this situation. Karpanya dosha apahata. Because of this dosha, because of this me, myself, my people, this kind of a kripanata. It is not even expanding to other people. What to talk about expanding to the purushartha of seeing oneself to be free from all this sambandha. You have to feel that. You have to see that. In the sense, as one beautiful example I remember from Swamiji, if a patient goes to the doctor and says, doctor, I'm not doing good, I'm not doing good, and if he keeps jumping, he can jump, But the doctor cannot respond the same way. Doctor also cannot be jumping and saying, oh, is that your problem? Is that your problem? Come on, come on, come on. Like the doctor cannot have the same response. He has to be objective in the situation. So not being objective in the situation is Arjuna's kripanata. The doctor, one who is objective, is the one to whom we go to seek help. That kripanata, Arjuna, if he is subjective, he's not raising to the occasion. One who is objective is the one who can really solve the problem. It is not that we are trying to be detached and getting away from relationship. Nothing of that sort. It is just to be objective. That objectiveness is gone from Arjuna. He has become a kripana. His svabhava, his nature is totally destroyed by this karpanya dosha. The remaining part of the shloka we'll see next week. I thought of completing shloka, but this shloka is very important. I want you all to please come next week also. Remember, it's 4:15 Saturday, and if you have any problem in logging in, please, you can always contact us. And more importantly, I also would like to tell you that next week we'll also see Bhagavan's Bhashya. So we'll see the real Tatparya of the entire Gita starting with next week. And because the first 6 chapters are about the Tat Tvam Pada Shodhanartham, about our own real nature, we'll continue from next week. And I wish you all a very safe stay, and we hope things will get better the rest of this week and following week. And with all that hope, we also keep praying to Bhagavan. This is an opportunity for all of us to pray Bhagavan for the entire planet, entire creation. We'll do that, keep doing that. And with these words, I will conclude. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. We're going to take